How I empower my aura. Let's get into details here. So your aura is basically the energy field around your body. And often problems and fears and doubts are trapped in it, ready for your body to absorb so that you can actually deal with the problem. Or it's a way of trying to get rid of these problems that you're overthinking and thinking about and worrying about and fearing. For years, I've always cut the ties to the people around me. This relieves all their negativity that comes towards me and everything. It never cuts the unconditional love tie, but it's just the emotional tie. Because sometimes when I'm dealing with a lot of emotions with people, I tend to find that I'm actually being overabundance of it. And then it triggers my insecurities and my fears. I've been doing loads of work on my past life and the traumas there, my childhood programming that I put in place to give me the mannerisms and become the person I am and the part to play in this life. But in your aura, there is these energy sources that need to be cleared out and set free. Now, normally I just cleanse it, but they come back. And I thought to myself, well, I've done work on my past life, I've done work on myself, but suddenly I found a different angle, a different way of doing it. So basically, I get myself into nature, I ground myself, unconditional love into body, pour it through, get the balance from the earth, cleanse into the aura. But this time what I did was, I thought, right, I'm going to deal with the actual problems because they are part of the journey. They're helping me to understand what is going on. And so just clearing them out all the time is not going to get rid of them, or you've got to deal with them. And so this is what I'm going to show you how I dealt with it, right? So the first thing I say is I link into my aura and I go, what issues is there now? And the first thing they showed me was money. Now, I'd done a lot of work on the money situation, and I found in the past life, I'd been lord of a manor, and my wife had taken the money off me. So they turned everybody against me, and she took the land and the money. So I had that vibration part of me. Also, I saw myself as a circus, and I was quite overweight, and I was wasn't looking the best, and they had me in a cage. And any money that was given to me, I used to hide because the guy who ran it always took it off me or give me a beating if I didn't give him the money. And I used to give it to the children. So I'm never good of holding on to money because I always want to give it away, which is reflected in this life. And so then we move on to the next part of it all. I actually then thought, right, okay, I'd done my programming in childhood to do with money. My mum and my dad were basically, my dad's a bit of a spendthrift because he's seen what money does to people when they have it. My mum's quite tight and always saved one thing or another. So I've got both energies. But what came to light was not being good enough. The feeling of not being good enough, which is related to a lot of other things in my life as well. Do you know what I mean? I've always achieved well. I've always had good high-powered jobs. I've always achieved many things. I've been all around the world working, so it's never a problem. Normally, whatever I do, I become successful in. But I could understand that it always seemed to revert back to not having money or having more bills seem to be popping up and spending more money or whatever. So basically so I forgive myself, I felt it and I let go, because basically this money situation was basically something I must have been holding on to or vibrating or fearing or doubting that is still part of me. But because I cleared all the rest out, it was actually an ancestral chain. It was my parents didn't feel good enough. And so I was able to clear that out, cut the emotional ties. That's why I love tracing. So you can get a thought of something or a problem and then trace it back to where it comes from and you'll get a picture. This is part of my past life vibrational healing. So anyways, that was one area that I was able to clear out. And so I'm empowering my aura. and freeing what it keeps returning to the aura. What is obviously vibrating from me that's getting trapped in the aura that needs to be dealt with, needs to be let go of, but it's attracting situations. So try it yourself. Just get yourself into the state of being at one with yourself and ask what's in the aura, what problems or issues that's in there. And then trace them. Imagine a line from them going back to a part of your life or a past life or whatever situation it is, and then forgive, feel, and let go. Because what you're doing there is you're taking charge that it came from your vibration, the problem was, and that you've held on to it, you're attached to it, or you've not dealt with it. And so by seeing the big picture or seeing why it's there, you're able to release it and let go of it. So let me see if I can do another one now. Okay, so because I released the one to do with the money, I went to the one of being good enough. Now I've dealt with this one before because my father, who gave me the strength and courage in life, and you know, he's a real fighter, he wouldn't accept second place. So he set me up to take the medal. And so the negative part of it, I always thought that I wasn't good enough. But when I flipped this and looked for the bigger picture, I noticed that when people around me, when they got to a stage where they were close to succeeding or whatever, they didn't have that mental strength. But I knew that by going up all those steps to collect that medal, that it might be second place this time, but it might change for the next time. And so I've always been strong in character, and I've always achieved stuff because I know that when everything aligns, when the mind, body and soul aligns, when the universe aligns with you, everything comes in place, then you get the blossom, then you get the achievement. And that's why I've always achieved in a lot of things I've done. But I always have a thing that when I've completed it, I move on, which is something I might have to work on, actually. But my father gave me the strength that even when the worst happens or the worst situation, I can still carry on because I know it will turn to good. I know I will be able to achieve it. And that it's just giving me the lesson or the understanding on how to, by putting the blocks in front of my way or putting a hurdle in front of my way. Then I know it's not quite right yet. I'm not ready to receive the blossom or the flower of full potential or be in the zone. And so there's still little bits for me to mold and recreate or learn or whatever before I evolve into that state. So yeah, so not being good enough, and that also relates to a childhood thing to do with my mother, and so I've been able to let go of that. Now, the ancestral chain is what has been absorbed. So each family, so your grandparents have passed this down. It's your mannerisms. It's who you are. It makes you who you are. So it's not a bad thing, but a lot of people see negativity as being bad when it's not. It's helping you to balance. It's helping you to understand the lesson. It's helping you to achieve in life. It's helping you to create challenges so that you can go that further. So that when the real mess is happening, you're still there fighting because you know through your experience, through the things that you've gone through, that it will come good in the end. But you've got to stay in there. It's like the wind to do with the flower. They always say that the flower bends in the wind, because it knows that that day of sunshine will come. But it's got to ride it sometimes, and you've got to ride that roller coaster, because sometimes that roller coaster is taking you in a new direction. But unless you ride it, you're not going to go in the new direction. You're not going to get the achievement. You're not going to get the glory. You're not going to get the success unless you put it in. So this aura is very important. And also when I'm doing readings and everything, I have to be careful that I'm not just picking up on people's auras. So I'm not picking up just on problems. Then they're actually not actually happened, but they're thoughts and ideas and illusions to get us to step on that and get connected once more so that we can deal with them. Give them back to the universe, put it in a box. Any problems, become the solution, become the energy which is the solution. So if you have a problem, give it to the universe. If it comes back, then trace it. Go back into past life, childhood, whatever, or contact me. Once you've done that, if it's still there, then it might be something else linked to it. So it's all for a reason. Everything is relative to the journey. Everything makes the journey complete. So you need the aspects of negativity and positivity to balance. Then you get into the automatic flow, and then all of a sudden the world seems different. You then more enjoying the connection, which then you're showing beauty in all. You're showing the beautiful world. You're showing marvelous moments. You're creating magic moments. You've got memories. You've got dreams. You're living the life. And this is what the spiritual journey is all about. This is what the spiritual awakening is all about. It's showing you that there is a world there that you can connect to. And you've just chosen to do all the things that seems, or a perception, that you're disconnected. You're never disconnected, because you always have this pure energy part of everything inside you. So you've never actually disconnected, but it just feels that way because the body is rejecting certain things because it doesn't want to overload on the negativity. It wants to flow, and it can't flow when it has certain energies.